This is a weird way to start a story, but my mother went to Alaska on a cruise about I'd say about 2-3 years ago, and she says it's without a doubt, hands down, the most magnificent thing she has ever done. And she's not the kind of person who's not well traveled. I mean, amongst her top trips, she includes kind of Machu Picchu and these sorts of places. So she's a well-traveled lady, and she said Alaska is the destination for her. And when you get that kind of ringing endorsement, I thought we should talk to somebody about Alaskan cruises. And so what we've got here is we've got Tracy Krog. Is that right?
That's right.
Tracy Krog, yeah, from Cruises International to chat about Alaska and specifically Alaskan cruising. Because that's probably the best way to see Alaska. I think
it is. It's a nice way to see the coast of Alaska.
Right.
I mean, Alaska is the
I
largest
believe it's
state.
quite wild up there, though, still. I mean, it's still a bit...
Yes.
rough and tumble and kind of...
It's probably the safest way, the prettiest way and the safest way.
Right, well, there you
I
are.
can sit by rail or car and go inland, but the coast is the most scenic part of
Well,
the...
to say scenic and safe that's a win for me already.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if you want to go in the most terribly unsafe,
We're
we did do something
South
else.
African, we do silly things.
Yeah, perhaps, that's true. But okay, all right, so now cruising, that's already a kind of a leap for a lot of people, taking a big boat on
A
trips.
ship.
Yeah. Sorry,
A ship.
is that the correct term?
Warranties, yes.
Is
Like
it is it
boats,
like
cruise
saying
ship.
is it like saying gun in the military? You get in
Yes.
big trouble. Okay, all right, I see. Hands up. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So the idea of taking a ship on a holiday, some people may feel quite who don't know about it might feel quite claustrophobic about the idea of constantly being on a ship. But obviously, when you cruise, there's day trips and there's all these kind of things, and that's what we want to get to find out about. Right. So cruises in Alaska, they start in either San Francisco or Vancouver, I believe.
And Seattle.
Oh, and Seattle as well.
Seattle
Okay.
and Vancouver are the two most common
Okay.
ports for the 7-night itineraries,
Right.
and the longer cruises start from San Fran. So
Okay.
they actually sail for a few days longer just to get to the coast.
Right. So how long are those? Those are 2 weeks or so.
Those are normally 10 to 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So your average Alaskan cruise is 7 nights,
Okay.
round trip. So
Right.
Seattle back to Seattle, Vancouver back to Vancouver.
So then people have to get to Vancouver and Seattle.
That's it.
Are those easy cities to get to from
They
South Africa?
are, actually they are. I think one of the biggest challenges we have as South Africans with Alaska is getting there.
Right.
I do not believe there's a further place to fly to from Johannesburg, Durban or Cape Town.
No, we just had the guys from Malaysia telling us it was 20 hours to get to the dive sites.
I think Alaska's further.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So yes, you can. It's pretty easy to get to, either via the UK or via the US or even via Malaysia.
Okay.
And once you're there, the other thing is, very few South Africans will only go for a 7-night cruise. It's
Right.
a silly exercise to do. So what we try and do is sell a cruise tour, which is a combination of a land and a cruise package.
Okay.
So you're either getting to see the Denali National Park, or you're going to the Rocky Mountain or
Right.
Whistler. So it works out about a 14-day cruise tour.
Right. Okay. Well, let's talk about the cruise itself. What can people expect when they get there? I mean, are we talking large ships? Are we talking kind of smaller boats, yachts? What exactly is the basics?
Cruising has grown exponentially in Alaska, and even with the federal government introducing air pollution taxes and things to the cruise lines. So we have a mix. You've got mass market, which is Royal Caribbean or Celebrity. So you're looking at cruise ships that can take anything between 2,100 guests and 3,000 guests.
Sure.
And then the luxury cruise ships have started either going into Alaska or going back into Alaska. And those range anything from small expedition ships that can take up to, minimum of 200 people, up to 700 people on Oceania. Even Crystal Cruises are going back into Alaska next year. And their ship takes 970 guests.
Right.
So I think anyone planning a cruise holiday needs to figure out whether they want the large ship or the small ship experience, whether they want the luxury or the mass market experience. Because the itineraries are pretty much of a muchness. Most of them sail through the Inside Passage up to Ketchikan and Janao and to Sitka, to the Hubbard Glacier or Icy Point. So it's a matter of your personal choice and your budget, of course.
But there are differences in the tours. I mean, it's not a set. I mean, I saw there was some stops that some of the cruises did.
It
that others
depends on the
don't,
size, and this is where the size of the ship makes the
Right.
difference. Some of the ports don't allow for large ships to dock there.
Okay.
So that's where traveling on a smaller cruise ship is more convenient. Otherwise, generally speaking, the ships pretty much all follow each other
Right.
out of Seattle or Vancouver, and call on the same. Some of the cruise lines have one-way cruises between Vancouver and Seward.
Right.
So you'd have to look at it. Just changes the air ticket.
Yeah, because the one thing you don't want to do is wind up in Seawood with nowhere to go.
No.
Okay, all right. So what are the attractions though? Why should people go on these cruises?
I think as South Africans, Alaska as a country offers things that we don't get to see. We don't have glaciers. We don't have thermal pools. We don't have moose.
Yeah.
So
Or
the
bears
wildlife
or-
is
yeah.
quite, well, they consider their wildlife to be quite exciting. They have fantastic fishing. Now, all of this takes place during July and August, which are the cruising season is quite a short season. It's only
Right.
between May and September. And those couple of months are quite rainy as well. But the chances of you seeing the wildlife, like the bears
Right.
and things, are much higher during July and August. You may still see a bit of snow during May. It's still the end of their winter or of their spring as
Right.
such. So there's a chance you'll see snow in May and September. As I say, the glaciers are absolutely magnificent. You
Yeah,
get
and
to see
I've
glacial waters, which...
Yeah. This is my mother said that she was on one of the bigger boats, and that the Hubbard Glacier towers above a cruise ship.
That's the thing.
And then, I mean, it's this enormous. You can't just picture the size
One
of
of
this
the
thing.
things that a cruise ship does is if you go into one of the fjords to see one of the glaciers, it literally spends from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, it spends the day tilting from east to west,
Right.
watching and you as a guest standing on the balcony get to watch the glaciers carving ice
Right.
on a good day.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
watching
obviously if-
icebergs fall off the front. Yeah, if people say carving, and it sounds like such a kind of quiet, small, enormous icebergs crashing off the wall of this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So on a good clear day, you do get to see that, and you're close enough to them to feel and hear it.
Right.
Again, being on a ship, having that vantage point from the sea to the shore
Right.
is also great, as opposed to doing it from the shore side.
Right, and I assume something like the carving of a glacier would be better in sort of spring, maybe summer. Is that a thing?
No, normally during summer. The
Okay.
glaciers carve better during the summer months because it's warmer, so the
That's
ice is
right,
melting
yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Oh, good.
So again, June, July, August would be your better months to see that.
Fantastic. Okay, all right. Now, how do people book these packages? How do they get to Alaska?
Well, as I say, there's a plethora of choice for cruising, so
Right.
it depends entirely on, as I say, there's budget
Personal
and,
choice.
and very much personal choice. They can either go through their travel agent, who will book their cruise as well as the airfare and any pre or post nights accommodation, or otherwise they can come to us directly on
Well,
cruises.coza.
Okay.
All our Alaskan itineraries are loaded onto our website and our prices, and anyone can just go and have a look there.
at the very least, they can go there and do some research.
Yes, we've got
Yeah.
some beautiful YouTube videos. All our social media platforms are all very rich in images and information.
Okay, well, I noticed one of the things, because we're
Yes.
showing a video for the people who are watching Balls Radio. One of the things that these Alaskan cruises sell themselves on is the adventure and the kind of day trips
Yeah.
and the things that you can
The
do
shore
off the boat, the
excursions,
shore
yeah.
excursions. Yeah.
Oh, the helicopter flips. In Janau, you can go to the top of the mountain by cable car, and there's an education centre, and learn more about the natives. So they're very cultural as well. A lot of people aren't too familiar with the history of Alaska, so it's very cultural, very adventurous, incredibly scenic.
And that was the other thing that I was quite interested by, is there's a lot of talks on the geography and on the history of the area on the
Yes,
boats,
all the
and
ships most of them have resident speakers from the area who will give you the guests a talk the night before they dock in a port and talk about the port, what there is to do, either with a ship shore excursion or to just mill about on your own.
Yeah, so the wonderful thing is you don't have to buy one of those 300-kilogram tour guide books and carry them with you.
That's
yeah.
correct.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds magnificent. You said you've got a couple of specials running for Alaska at the moment?
Yes, well, both Royal Caribbean and Celebrity have some specials for booking for 2015.
Okay.
So that expire at the end of June. So if you book one guest now, you get 50% off the second guest.
Okay.
That's on Royal and Celebrity. They have a promotion called the 123, where you have a choice of a beverage package, an onboard credit, or a discount for any bookings made.
Okay.
And just to talk pricing, one of the misconceptions about cruising, never mind
Right.
Alaska, is that it's still expensive. You can find a good deal in Alaska during the off seasons, May and September, for about $700 per person sharing.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, that's
So-
really, really good.
Not badly priced either.
Okay, so all these specials run until the end of June, you say?
Yes.
Okay, well, so people have to decide now. They're
Now.
going to Alaska. This
Yes.
is the thing. Go to Alaska. It's amazing. Look at it. Look at it. It looks unbelievable. Yes, call your travel agent. That's what the video says. No, thank you very much for coming in, Tracy. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having
How do
me.
people get hold of you? What's the...
Oh, our telephone number is 011 327 0327.
Is 011 327 0327.
That's it. Or as
Wow,
I
that's
say,
relatively simple.
cruises.co.za.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for coming in. It's
Thanks,
been an
Warren.
absolute pleasure chatting to you.